Welcome back, everybody. I can't believe it's Tuesday already. This little beauty seems to be holding out fine. I've actually set the temperature on here for -2, and I think the hysteresis thing. Anyway, it's working. In fact, it's working really, really well. I've been playing around with these other, I think they're called STSSs. That's just a cooling one, which I've been using just to recirculate in here when the probe warms up a little bit. I'll just show you. I'll just warm it up with my hands. There you go. So that's then just recirculating the glycol, just to keep the glycol nicely mixed. This is the same type of thing, but I've got two of these. Two outputs. One's for a pump, so you can glycol chill, and one is for the heating pad. On this one down here, I have currently plugged in the little 12-volt heating pad, which goes in the cone. And I'm just seeing, I've set the temperature to something like 22 or something, which is warmer than this room will be. I think it was about 13 when I filled that with water. Yeah, 13.1 ground temperature water. So I've put 140 litres in here. So it has risen about 3.5 degrees in 4 hours. I've got this probe just sat here just to give me an idea of the ambient room temperature. And why is there a plastic bit on the end, you might ask? One, to stop me stabbing myself with it, because I'm a clumsy fucker, and secondly, it stabilizes the temperature. So if I was to grab hold of that, it's not going to very, very quickly go up. If you understand. Well, having said that, of course, what it's just done is now rapidly start to go up, but not as rapidly as if I'd have just squeezed it and it would have gone up to about 20 something or other. Wish I'd bothered now. So that's that. Got another one. This arrived yesterday. It had seen better days, it's true to say, but interestingly they've put a secondary, it's one of those little, like a rope, heated rope element they wrapped around the cone, but all the wheels were bent and crikey, it was in a bit of a state, as I said. So I've tried to straighten the wheels as best I can. Not perfect, but then I thought I might order some more and get them delivered to America, because Andy's going over to America, and I wondered if he could smuggle 4 wheels back in his little bag. So yeah, talking of which, Andy came over on Friday. We went for some lunch, and he bought me. We went halves on a minimum order of cans, lids. So I got 600 cans. I got 15 poly kegs. Don't like the idea of poly kegs. Fully admit, don't like the idea of poly kegs. But they're a necessary evil if I'm going to get my stuff out there. I don't know, what can you say? I can't afford to go out and get steals that will then no doubt be stolen. But yeah, there we are. I am going to be doing a limited run of cans. I've got some beer which has been conditioning, so I don't know yet. I have instantly fallen in love with this duo filler that Andy recommended, and I can get down to a little routine of putting 2 cans in, starting one going, waiting a little while, and then starting the second one, and then by the time that one's filled, I'll put it on the machine. This was my original, I don't know if people remember the video that I put up about this. It took me ages to learn what I was doing wrong. If you watch that first video, Can It? I was setting the machine going and then lowering this, and then it was only after about buggering up 30 or 40 cans, I realised that I should set that down, then turn it on, and then do that bit to do the seaming. Not using it anymore. This came from the brewery of St Mars of the Desert, by the way. If you look at my front splash screen, where I actually write, all the people who've either helped me or motivated me or just whatever, supported. Talking of which, Johnny, Beer Keg Tap, BKT, top bloke, thank you for, again, supporting a lot of the stuff that I do. I have gone for the automatic, well, it's not automatic, semi-automatic, I should say, cannula. I will be getting, thanks also to Harry Brew 69, Chris, who has offered me one of his 2 MT50 labelling machines. Very, very grateful for that. It's just everything I'm doing at the moment, I'm trying to do in a sense, in a way, to kind of like make things easier for old arthritic fingers. So yes, so that's where we're at the moment. I'm not convinced, if I'm completely honest, that having the brewery over in this corner is going to work. I think it might have to be all out here. Mainly for any spillages, just to be able to wash it outside. Yeah, by the way, people might not remember, and if you're new to the channel you won't. I first met up with Andy, and it was probably about 2 or 3 years ago, before he'd started Four Priests, and I was away on a boat, and I was near Middlewich, or somewhere near Middlewich, and he says, "Oh, I'm near there. Do you fancy meeting up for a pint?" So we met up for a pint. Nice little boozer. Unfortunately, it's a tied boozer to a pub, so his beers won't end up going in there. But we met. He bought me a couple of his beers, which actually were bloody good. And we had this idea he told me about the Cheshire Malt Collective. They did have, unfortunately, it was shut down by it doesn't matter anyway, it doesn't matter, but they had a collective where they bought some malt, and I was talking about Pete Brown's book Hops and Glory, where he brewed a special IPA and took it from Burton-upon-Trent by sea to India, in a roundabout sort of way, and he called it Barry. Well, long story short, this is the bit of clip from I won't do all the sound, but this we had this idea. Andy bought me a sack of malt, which we called Barry, out to the boat somewhere on the Middlewich Arm, and then we bought the malt back to Sheffield, and this sounds more silly than it actually was, but it's a good thing to do. And we did have an idea of I was going to brew some stuff and then we was going to auction it off for charity and stuff. But there were issues around things like duty and licensing and stuff like that, and it didn't happen. But I've got ideas around some of the cans, so I might still be doing something around that. So that's where I met Andy, and then a few months later, he said, "Oh, I've been offered some brewery kit. What do you think I should do?" I said, "I think you should bloody take it." And looking back, that the journey. I'm sure everyone here is subscribed to Four Priests. If you're not, then I just don't understand you. What are you doing here if you're not subscribed to Andy at Four Priests? So so that's how it all. That's how it all started, and now he's my supplier for cans and polykegs. So what am I doing with this one? I'm straightening the wheels up. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to give it a good clean out, and then I'm going to stand this one next to this one, turn the lights out, and hope they breathe. Yeah, all right. Anyway. that's it for this bit of the video. There is going to be a bit more, I'm afraid, of what happened after Andy left, because I was going to be brewing last weekend. I was thinking of brewing last weekend, then remembered that I had to take Jeff and Sandra's Mustn't Grumble up to have some work done in it. So on Friday night we cruised down to Victoria Keys, and then had a few drinks in the Dorothy Packs, and then after that we fell asleep, and very early the next morning we went up to Doncaster. So I'll leave you with that. So you get brewing and boating, all forms of nonsense. If you like this rubbish and you'd like to see more, and if you have a strong stomach and you're not eating your tea, you can go and watch Andy's last video where he actually gets a bit of me in it. I try not to do too much stuff to camera because I know people sometimes have quite fragile digestive systems, and I don't want to cause any nasty reactions. But if you do like this, a subscription to the channel would really be just absolutely fantastic. And please, if you click the little thumbs up, it tells YouTube's algorithm that this video might be worth, I don't know. Listen, I'll get on with the boaty stuff now. Forget all that. Cheers for now. You can turn off if you don't like boat stuff. Oh, looky look. This is something we've not done for a while. Try not to bash into Cadman Street Bridge. That would be bad form. We're off on boat. Not going far, just going from the boathouse down to Victoria Keys, where we're going to moor for the night. Going to turn around, moor for the night, and then tomorrow we're off to Doncaster. Aye, first run of the year, and it's October. Bloody hell. I've no idea what that was. Something has just fallen off, and I haven't bashed into anything. It's not a good sign. Not a good sign. I've slipped through an accidental time warp back to the 80s. What a smashing couple at the Dorothy Packs. But I need to go and get on our little boat, which is over, well, not our little boat anymore, but the little Mustn't Grumble, and not go back there and start singing along and doing all the Cockney stuff. The first proper run with her new heart, purring like a kitten, beautiful. In fact, just easy to forget that there's a new engine in here, and we have clocked up a massive 14.5 hours on the clock. So by the time we get back from Thorn and be ready for the first proper service, but we're not sure about getting back after the work and blacking's been done, because I can't remember which lock it is, lock number 12 I think it is on this flight, will be closed until just before Christmas. So we're going to try and find a mooring, maybe at Rasker in Rotherham Sheffield Canal Association. But at least we're going to get to Thorn, which is more than we managed to achieve earlier this year. Look at that, halfway through 14th, halfway through October, and this is the first run this little girl's had this year. But yeah, it definitely feels lovely, just purring like a kitten. Super. Just behind that is Doncaster Minster. There's something very quintessentially British about church bells on a Sunday morning. And this is where we is at. Couldn't really ask for a better day. How lovely is this? And we realised earlier, it takes me a while to catch up sometimes, but today, the 15th of October, is the 12th anniversary of that little lad coming to live with us. Which is a strange old thing, really. We went to this place near Swinton, a rescue place. We'd seen him online. He's only 10 months old, well, about 10 months old, something like that. And we went out to this rescue kennel, and it was evident that he really didn't like other dogs. I think he'd been tormented, and it was a bit like prison cage, prison fever sort of thing. But as soon as we got him away from there, it's good as gold. Jumped in the back of the car, sat when told to sit, and just gave a paw, all that sort of stuff that indicates that he's not completely wild and bonkers. Well, actually he is wild and bonkers, but he's not dangerously wild and bonkers, if that makes sense. And they said, well, take him home, see what you think, bring him back, and we'll arrange the paperwork. So we took him home. He spent the night with us, I think, and I phoned up and said, yeah, I think he likes us, we like him. So yeah, they said, oh, all right, we'll just keep him. And if you could just transfer the adoption fee, that'd be brilliant, and we'll arrange all the paperwork. They sent us a voucher so that he could have his knackers chopped off, which is a condition of adoption, which, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, but it was a condition of the adoption. So yeah, so there we are, and we're on water back in little old Mustn't Grumble. It's so lovely. And I am really pissed off with this paint. I don't know whether this paint is from one of the old pots that turned out to be shit, but if it's from one of the new pots, then I'm furious. So anyways, we're going to repaint at least the top, possibly the sides. Going to replace all this silver strip all the way around. That's going before it goes back down to Sandra and Jeff next year, when they will be taking back over control of the helm. And she's just running lovely, she's running beautifully. So that's where we're at. So we had Andy come over on Friday, that was nice. Friday night we moored down in Victoria Keys, had a drink in the packs. Don't know if I put the little bit of video in there, but there was a clonking noise, and it was this little bit of copper pipe just fell off there onto there. scared the daylights out of me. I didn't know what it was. As with a new, as with anything, but a new engine, very attuned to any noises that might not be what you're used to, and there's nothing. It's all good. It's nice. So yeah, a quick update. I don't know if I've put the video of Andy coming to stay in, but yeah, it was nice, and to meet Elliot as well, his lad, who's sharp as a razor, by the way. It really is. And how Andy managed to get all those cans and poly kegs into his truck, I've absolutely no idea. But for now, I think quick enough update. Wind's getting up a little bit, so it's probably messing with the sound. I don't have a posh microphone or camera. I shoot all my shit on my phone. I know. Absolutely, delightfully amateur. But there we go. For Sunday the 15th, Marley's 12th anniversary of coming to live with us, and our first proper run since the new engine has gone into our baby and Jeff and Sandra's baby, Olin Wassa. Until next time, and we do this all again, brewery stuff next time. You take care. Whatever you're doing, do it safely. Just looking at these cows hovering underneath the bridge. Do they know something we don't know? Do you know something we don't know, guys? Yeah. Until next time, take care of yourselves and others. Cheers. I know some people will want to know. This is sitting quite happily at around 22 degrees when the ambient temperature is 19. So I think that's pretty good to maintain a ferment, provided it doesn't get too cold in here. That's it.